Okay, so the next step I wanted to show you guys was the suspension. We have 3 different stations. Each station will build up the suspension components from start to finish. But suspension components consist of the front and rear shocks and struts, different springs in the front and rear as well. And we have 2 different options for our suspensions. We have what we call a level 2 system, which is ride height adjustable, both on the front and rear. And then we have our level 3 system, which is not only the ride height, but also the valving in the shocks and struts that is adjustable. Anytime you're adding additional horsepower to the vehicle, there's always a weak link. So the weak link that we found was the rear axle shafts from the base Mustang. So what we've done is we've incorporated into any package that gets a supercharger, core content is going to be upgraded axle shafts to the rear as well. Much more robust Ford racing axle shaft that we install into the vehicle as well. So, and this vehicle here has the level 2 system on there. This is your height adjustment for the front. Every vehicle is going to come with a couple of spanner wrenches that are placed in the trunk, and they can get in here and they can tweak this to raise or lower the vehicle to their liking. Similarly, we have one in the back for the rear springs that allows them to adjust that height as well. So this is one of these shocks that actually has the valve in there that you can adjust, right? There's a little dial valve there that you can adjust to your liking. Now we set these up to our preference, right? We have a ROUSH standard, how these are set from the factory, both from a ride height and the valving. We put them out there to the way we know that they're going to perform well on the road every day. And again, once that true enthusiast gets there and they want to tweak it, they can make those mods to themselves. Similar on the struts, the bottom has the same marking on there, right? So you can see we have them all preset, right? They've got a little tag on there that shows that we've got them all set to our liking. The vehicle here we got right now in this first station of the supercharger line is actually a Warrior car. It's very similar to our Stage 3 package, but again, a lot of unique content with badging that they put on there. Now, this is the first stop on any supercharged vehicle that we're going to build. Again, this is a teardown station. We'll move up to Station 2. He's getting ready to prep it for some of the modifications that are going to happen. So as you tear it down, everything from the lower intake on up is going to get removed. So once he gets all of this stuff buttoned up here and put back together, we've got a whole package of protective covering that's going to go on top of this, right? And it's going to protect it from any metal shavings or aluminum shavings as he's grinding and providing more clearance for our FIAD system. So he's got the fuel charging assembly installed, right? So you got your upper and lower intake manifold with the intercooler built inside there. It's starting to put some of the plumbing in there with the hoses. Some of our machining operations are already completed. You can see those are all done so that we've got our clearances for the components that we're installing. There's some other machining operations underneath there to allow clearance for the intercooler and the intake manifold system. We've actually designed the actual housing itself. We have a foundry that makes the actual castings for us. We do the final machining work in-house, and then we do the assembly of that supercharger system in-house as well at our building just down the road. One of the unique things about that plant where they actually do the installation or they do the buildup of the supercharger is that every one of these superchargers is run on a dyno that spins that supercharger up to a higher speed than it's ever going to see here on the car. So let's step up to Station 5 here and see one of the finished goods here. Once it gets to this point, we're going to fill all the cooling systems, both the 2 different systems that we have. They're going to pressure test to make sure there's no leaks in them. And then they're also going to install the last few bits and pieces, right? We take a lot of pride in what we do here. You know, the guys that I have here, they want to be here. You know, they really enjoy working on this business. You know, again, as you can see, they're engraving their names and putting a plaque on the car with their name on it, right? It's no different than an artist signing his name on the bottom of a portrait that he's painting, right? And so again, they take a lot of pride in their work and what they do, and they want nothing less than perfect to leave this facility.
Well guys, thank you so much for coming with us for our walkthrough tour of the ROUSH Performance Facility here in Plymouth, Michigan. And as you saw, there's a lot more that goes into building a ROUSH vehicle than most might think. If there's any other segments you want to see us do regarding ROUSH parts, ROUSH vehicles, or anything ROUSH, just let us know in the comments below. Make sure you go to our website at roushperformance.com to view our full vehicle lineup and parts lineup. And if you have any additional questions, you can always call us at 800-59-ROUSH. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.